Good evening, viewers. This is the Colonel speaking to you live from the Grange for British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. And despite unpleasant phone calls to a friend of mine this very afternoon from someone who wishes to keep everything rather quiet, we will not be mentioning the leading dealer's anus. Thank you, viewers. Whilst the Professor and Squire are enjoying crumpets and tea beside the fire at 222 Mrs. Bunn the Baker Street, Ross-on-Wye, the gramophone ring had been active. As soon as they saw the inspector and the squire disguised as French EMG collectors cycle away, they distracted the dealer with the prominent teeth by showing him a 1914 aero engine in the back of the dealer's three-wheel van with the hairy ginger cover. Whilst he was engrossed with the pistons, they pushed off back to the auction and cornered the Pooley Victrola and all the other wonderful items, and then, having bought the whole lot, loaded them into the backs of their vehicles, and ignoring a scruffy urchin who pointed at the leading dealer's loaded vehicle and said, "Oh, you've got a flat there, ha 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 ha!" They headed not for the lorry park at Kempton, but for Epping Forest, where they met in a clearing in the dense woodland, appropriate, for at least one of them was rather dense. The ring was in their hands, but its power overcame them. Thunder crackled overhead at the mere mention of a trademark machine with an incorrect blood-stained horn. "Should we enter on horseback?" said a strange man with a ferret perched on his head. "Hey, give that back!" cried another. "I traded 3 Filipino girls for that, and a 203 with the unique 157 horn inside. It was a rare one, untouched by man, but not by hairy beast." "Your carriage awaits, sir," beckoned a chauffeur. But it wasn't a chauffeur, it was Professor Oxford's who had made a lightning dash on a giant tame squirrel to the clearing. The squirrel wanted revenge for the murder of his brother, now perched lifeless on the head of the leading horseman. The Professor waved his magic wand, well known to the horsey girls of rural Hertfordshire, and the blood-stained trademark disappeared in a cloud of tattered lino, and in its place a tattered blue chair appeared. "My God," said the Professor, "it's the throne of the King of the Ring. Anyone sitting on it becomes Premier Chevalier, or King of eBay." "Are you sure?" said Lieutenant Columbus. "Grab it," said the Professor, but too late, as the giant squirrel sat down and a magical gold crown appeared on his head, and miraculously his nuts appeared as well. And that was how eBay was taken over by a giant squirrel. But back to the story. The Professor and the Squire hid behind a bush. "Her name's Kate, so don't mention Wuthering Heights," said the Professor. "We need to hear what the ring are up to next." The Squire moved his listening device in the direction of the clearing where the ring had gathered. "5 grand each," said the bearded man. "Not bad for half a day's work." "That's nothing," said the man with the squirrel on his head. "I get 3 grand each for those Ceylonese girls I import." "Ha ha ha ha!" The sinister leading dealer leaned towards the bush. "Do I hear heavy breathing?" he asked. And to the surprise of all in the clearing, especially the Professor, a large hump emerged from the forest floor in front of them. It was Reg, the hopeless, proudest chauffeur, handyman, gardener, who had fallen asleep awaiting the arrival of the ring members. The leading dealer hissed, "What are you doing here, Reg?" "Dykes is the name, junk is the game. Making some more of those dodgy crystal sets again. You could get us all caught." "Oh, God," said Reg. "I didn't think anyone had spotted them. They're so good I bought one myself recently at an auction. It even fooled me." "Fooled you?" hissed the leading dealer. "The baseboard on one said 5's bananas. Was it a rare advertising one, Reg? Was it? Was it?" "You're going to ruin our fake 203 scam at this rate," exclaimed the squirrel man. "We only got caught last time because that dog and hippie found out about us," hissed the leading dealer. "And we would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those pesky kids." Meanwhile, the Professor was still listening from behind the bush. The members of the ring were listening to strange sounds coming towards them. "Ah!" cried the leading dealer, "the secret weapon has arrived." Professor Oxford's and the Squire looked over the bush to see the minions of the ring bringing forward a large object covered in silk cloths. "Here we are, gentlemen," cried the leading dealer, "the secret weapon, a combination of EMG expert horn and Vesper cabinet machine, well known for the magnificence of their cabinet work, but the flimsiness of their horns, together with a Hill and Dale sound box So I have combined the three to create a machine to conquer the French gramophone market and destroy Pathé and EMG forever. Ha 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 ha! That's great, said Reg, the hopeless, proudly chauffeur handyman gardener. No one will ever know, as no one in Great Britain, or especially in America, knows anything about Pathé machines, and never mention them in message boards anyway. That is correct, replied the leading dealer. Those weirdos in America wouldn't know a genuine Pathé horn paint, even if we sold them one with it on, which we won't, because we don't know either. Ha 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 ha! Laughter resounded around the clearing. The professor and the squire shuddered at the plot. The secret weapon, a combination of Vesper and EMG Expert, will be sold as the Lepetamophone, as the sound comes from behind, and we will make a fortune and no one will stop us. We will tell them it's all the missing link between Magnaphone and the EMG and the Pathophone and the Vesper. But there may be someone, said Reg, still limping. Oh, got the voice wrong there, viewers. I met a Pathé expert once at Gloucester Market. I think it was called the Terrier. A shudder went through the leading ring member. Or the leading ring's member, who knows? A terrier who knew all about Pathé and what the real paint should look like. He attacked me when I tried to sell him a crap HMV record cabinet with broken hinges. Silence, shouted the leading dealer, or I'll smash you with a fake Zonophone tone arm, a Gibson tone arm with detachable soundbox. Demonic laughter resounded around the clearing as the ring anticipated huge profits from the Lepetamophone by selling it to a mug who had told them he was thinking of setting up a cabinet gramophone museum. But was it a mug, viewers, or could it have been, yes, Professor Oxbridge-man in yet another daring disguise? Part of his plan to ensnare the ring and expose them on YouTube. Join me tomorrow, viewers. This has been the Colonel, the Man in Black, reading the Gramophonic Murder Mystery, part the 6th. Thank you, viewers, and good night.